everyone. I thought I was talking to you guys for the past like 5 minutes, but I guess I wasn't. I haven't pressed live, but today we're going to be talking about Design Space. I know there's been a lot of questions about this in general for a lot of you, so I am excited to be here talking to you about just how to create your own designs in Design Space and navigate it a little bit more. I hope that this system works well because it's a new one. I'm using a software that makes it so I can screen share with you all. But we're going to be talking about things like slicing, welding, attaching, contour, uploading your own fonts, uploading your own images, etc. So be sure to let us know if you have any specific questions. And then we're going to go ahead and get started here in just a few minutes. Okay, so let me switch over to my video capture to my Design Space. Okay, so now we're in Design Space. If you have any questions, make sure that you let us know because I would love to answer them or address anything. I'm hoping that I will be able to see it using this, seeing your questions, but if not, Sydney might be able to answer some of them if I don't see the questions. But anyways, so we're going to start. Obviously, Design Space, it's a software, and I shouldn't say obviously because I know a lot of people don't realize that what Design Space is. Is it something that comes on a CD? Is it in your browser, etc.? But Design Space is basically a website. You download a plugin to your computer that allows it to work. It's not a software, and you do need to have the internet for a lot of the features. There's some things you can download remotely and use if you're using the app, but for the most part, you should be connected to the internet. They have an app for the iPhone that you can download, the iPhone or iPad. And it's a great app. They're always updating it and adding new features. And I think they have an Android one, but it's not really very usable, so I'm not going to talk about that. But in Design Space, you just go to design.cricut.com, and it'll tell you if you need to install the plugin or if it's already there. So when you get there, this is Design Space 3. It was released last year, and I really like it. It took a little while to get used to, but it's really a great program. So it's, just a second, let me make sure this is working. When you go to the website, it'll have, kind of their current deals and whatnot at the top. For instance, if you are a Cricut Access member, you get 40% off of things like products such as vinyl and iron-on. But as you go down, you'll see it has my projects. It has my ready-to-make projects, which these are projects that are included with your Cricut Access subscription. They're really great for beginners or advanced because all you have to do is press make it, basically. So it's great if you don't know what you want to make, but you kind of have an idea. There's often something in Design Space. Then there's featured projects, which are often seasonal, so you'll see a lot of Valentine's projects. Newer projects that have recently been uploaded. And just a couple different categories. I really want to make these socks. I think those are so cute.
What socks?
There's cute little socks on here with hearts.
Aww.
Yeah, Jack's over here doing his homework for his 100 Days project. Yeah, it's homework. It's fun homework, though.
I'm sorting them.
You're sorting them, Skittles.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, so there's all these different projects on here. So you can scroll down through there to see if there's anything, or you can, if you click on View All, you can see all of the projects available through Cricut Design Space. My computer is a little bit slow because of this software I'm using, so please be patient with me as it loads. And be sure to ask any questions. I am checking right now to make sure I can actually see your questions. My computer, like I said, is being super annoying. Yes, it's being
weird.
Yeah, it's being a little bit weird. So I am not sure if I'll see your questions, but hopefully I'll be able to see them in a second. Anyway, so you can look at all the different projects here. You can get this from, it's just right here, projects, and you can get it from the Design Space website. But you can see ready-to-make projects, different categories, your own projects that you've saved, etc. So this is a great place to browse if you're looking for something new. But I'll go back to the landing page for Design Space, and I'll just click on New Project. These are some of my recent projects that I've been working on. But we'll just start out with a blank canvas. So this is what you'll see when you first get into Design Space. It's just a grid with, not a lot. It's gray, pretty simple. But there's so much you can do in here. So first off, there's templates. This is something that when they released Design Space 3, they didn't actually have. They had taken it off from previous versions, but there's a big uproar about it, and they did bring it back, which goes to show how much Cricut loves their customers, because they're always trying to make things a little bit easier for everyone. But basically in templates, you can see common canvases, so like shorts, backpacks, there's shirts, different banners, canisters, there's tons of things in here. And it's helpful, it shows you, so like let's pretend like we're gonna do a shirt. It will pull, so like a classic t-shirt. It'll put that template into Design Space. It won't cut this or anything, but it's basically there for visualization purposes. So it says at the top, templates are intended for reference only and will not be saved with your project. But I find them really helpful so you can get the sizing correctly of exactly what you want your shirt or whatever the canvas is to look like. So I highly recommend using templates, especially if you're a newbie to Cricut. But let's see. Okay, so and then next is the projects, which we've already talked about, but I'll click on it again. You can come in here and just look at all the different projects. You can search for projects. You can just browse down. You can browse by category. But it's a great place to find different ideas, especially because I'll just click on a project to show you. You click on this. Let's see. Oh, Jack, can you go grab me the iPad? Maybe I can see my question. I'm going to try and get my iPad so I can see questions. So basically, when you click on a project, it'll tell you what it is. It'll show you some pictures. And then the different materials that you need for it. So it's really helpful. It just shows you exactly what you need, and then you just press Make It. So it's very helpful. I love using projects from Cricut. Oh, thanks, Jack. Just because they're always cute, and I don't have to put in a lot of thought into designing it.
I saw a Cricut one.
You saw a Cricut one. I don't need the Cricut. I just need to be able to see people's questions.
Yeah, questions.
So let me see. I just have to get my iPad. Sorry, I'm a little distracted here. I was just trying to get my iPad. Next is the images. So this is images that are free, or that you can pay for, or that are included with your Cricut subscription. Okay, so I can answer questions now. So if anyone has any questions, be sure to chime in and let me know what they are. Let me know where you're from and who you are and things like that. So like I was saying, if there's a little green square up here in the corner, then you can click on that, or you don't click on it. Sorry, I'm a little frazzled right now. Okay. So if there's that little square, that means that it's included with your Cricut Access subscription. If you don't have Cricut Access, it'll just show a cost for these. Otherwise, there's some that aren't even included with your Cricut Access, so there's, you'll pay for them. And then they do have free ones. So you can filter over here, to your own images that you've uploaded, free images. So if you only want to see things that are free, regardless if you have Cricut Access or not, you can just filter free. You can also see your purchased ones and types of objects. And then there's also the categories. And if you have cartridges, you can link them and see them here. So these are some of the free ones available, different images, but they have thousands of images. I do highly recommend using Cricut Access. Hi, Amber. Thanks for tuning in. I do recommend using Cricut Access just because they do have a lot of images, so you don't have to go and upload them yourselves or try and find images or convert them to SVGs. They're already in ready-to-go format, and they're really just nice to have. And they also have a lot of fonts in Cricut Access. So next is text, so we'll press cancel. So if you want to add text to something, you just kind of click on that.
Wait, there's 3 people watching.
Yes, there's 3 people watching. So you just type in the text, you press the text button, and then you type in hello, or obviously whatever you want. That's always my go-to text for demos like this. But so you can adjust it with this, this little arrow thing. You can. This is what I liked. You can do this with. something you can do with images and font is that you can unlock the dimensions, because right now when you resize it, it's going to do it proportionally. But sometimes you may want it to be, longer or shorter in some way. So just press the little unlock button and you can change one width but not the other, but not the length, and then vice versa. You can also come up here to the size and manually type it in. So if you want it to be 8 by 5, you just type that in up there. And if you want it to go back to being proportional when you resize something, just press lock proportions. For fonts, you can come up here to just make sure it's selected, and then you can come up to font and select different fonts. So this one, the all, will show you all fonts that are installed on your computer or that are available through Cricut. System just shows you the fonts that are installed on your computer, so you obviously won't have to pay for those if they're installed. And then Cricut shows you all the ones available through Cricut Access or that are $4.99. So you want to check over here to make sure that you're not paying for something accidentally, unless you want to pay for it. You can also filter by, my fonts, multi-layer, single layer, and writing. But for sure to jump in if you have any questions or comments, I'm happy to answer them. I'm a little bit sick today. I came down with a cold, so and a little bit of a fever, so I'm a little bit out of it, but hopefully this will all make sense to you. So you can go through in here and just pick different fonts. I'm going to show you guys how to install fonts because that's a common question. It's a common misconception that you have to upload the font to Design Space. You do not upload anything to Design Space for the fonts. You download them to your computer, and I have a link in the description for this about how to do that, about different places to get fonts, but I'm just going to go to defont.com. That's one of my favorite websites for fonts. They just have a wide variety. You do want to check and see what the license is for it, because if you're selling things, you need to make sure that that you're allowed to sell with that font. So this is DeFont. You can browse through the different fonts, cartoon, comic, groovy, whatever. These are just recently added ones, and that looks pretty cute, Strawberry Blossom. So I'm going to download that. So you'll just download the zip file. Oh, I don't have a lot of space on my computer, so I don't know if it will actually show me those. But I have some fonts already downloaded, so let me go find a font that I downloaded. So here is one I downloaded called I Love Glitter. This is a really popular font. So you'll unzip the file, so in a Mac you'll just double click on it, and then in a Windows I think you right click on it and press unzip. And then you'll come in here and find the TTF file, double click on it, and you'll press install font. So I already have it in, I guess I didn't have it installed. I'll install it now. So I just installed it. One minor problem, okay. Install checked. And then you'll come back, you'll reload your Cricut Design Space, and it should be there. I guess I can reload it. It might be there, might not. But it's really nice to be able to upload your own fonts because it really just gives you a lot of flexibility with your projects, and you can find just the perfect font, because I found even though they have a lot of fonts, already pre-installed on your computer and that are already available for your use, like through Cricut Access or whatever, they often don't have the exact font that I'm looking for. So I love being able to download my own fonts. There's lots of free fonts, but there's also a lot of paid fonts out there. So definitely check out some different options. So we're back here. I didn't save anything, but let's see if my font's there. You can search by name. So that one was called Strawberry. And no, I guess you kind of sometimes will have to close out of your browser completely and then, oh wait, no, it wasn't Strawberry. That was the first one I was going to do. It's I Love Glitter. So I'm just going to type in glitter. I know there's so many fonts, fun fonts. Sydney. Sydney. Do you have any favorites? I just am always I like fancy fonts because I think they're so fun, especially for shirts, because I love to do shirts. So let's see. And something fun about this font, the I Love Glitter font, is if you do a underscore, it puts a little heart. So I think that's really fun. I don't know. I'm a big fan of things like that. So I'm actually going to show you guys a technique with this in a little bit. So I'll save that up there. Next, there's shapes. So these are free shapes that you can use. They're just typical shapes. And some people wonder, how do I do a rectangle? And it's really easy. Just come in here and press the unlock button. And there you go, make a rectangle. You can also go into images and they have free rectangle shapes. And then finally, there's the upload button. So this is where you can upload your own images. So there's, JPEGs, GIFs, PNGs, BMPs, SVGs, and DXFs. So you'll just press upload image, and I'll just upload a random image that I have here on my computer. So let's go to downloads, and I'll just find an image here. So here's one. You've been heart attacked. So this is for a project that I will be sharing pretty soon. I'm really excited about it because it's with a company that I've partnered with, and it's a really cool organization. But anyways, this is one of the images for it. I made it in Canva just because I wanted to offer it to people that didn't have Cricut as well. But so I uploaded the JPEG, and it shows up over here. And since this is a simple image, so there's not a lot going on, I just press simple. And then if you have something more complex that has more details, you'll do, you can decide if it's moderate complex or complex. But this was just basic, so just press continue. And then there's these options up here in the corner. There's select and erase. This is the best one if there's large portions of color that you want to get rid of, which I do. This is just a basic erase, so it'll just erase what you click on. And then this is crop, so if you just want to crop something. But I'm going to use the select and erase, and you just click, and it'll get rid of all the background image. So you just press continue. Hi, Elaine. Thanks for tuning in. She's from Canada. She lives in Ontario.
What?
Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
So then you'll select if it's a print then cut image or a cut image. If you do cut image, it's just going to do the outline and it's going to make everything else gray. If you do the print then cut, it's going to give you, all the colors and whatnot, which I did do for this. So you can save it. So we'll just say, yes. 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 Okay. You've been heart attacked. So we'll just press save right there. Well, I'm just saving it. Pin it is a different thing. That's in Pinterest. But so we'll just, and if you want your images, you can click on all the images that you've uploaded in the past. You can click on view all. And some people do wonder how to delete images, and all you do is just press this little I button, and you can press delete. So I already have that, so I'm just going to press delete because I already have it. Don't need to, then it'll ask you if you want to confirm, and just press yes. So anyways, now back to our canvas. Okay. Oh, good. We have some more people watching. Let us know who you are, where you're from, what your level is, and what machine you have. It's always nice to hear. So anyway, so let's come back here. This is the font, Hello. Well, the font is called I Love Glitter, but it's Hello is the word I wrote. And I did a little underscore heart. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the layers panel. This is what I know a lot of you have been curious about and wanting to know more about. This is a great tool, but some of the questions or some of the tools are confusing because, you're like, what is that? What does welding mean? What does attach mean? What does slice mean? So I'm going to show you that. First off, I'm going to show you what weld is. Welding basically merges shapes and fonts together so they're one, and it gets rid of overlapping lines. So I want to move together this font so it will all cut at the same time so it doesn't cut individual letters. So first I am going to come over here and press ungroup. Ungrouping it makes it so each of these letters are an individual unit. So you'll go ahead, and this is a great feature, the ungrouping and grouping, but the ungrouping is great for fonts because especially if you want to have them all attached together. So I'm just going to move those, and it's great for curving as well. Text, which I'll show you in a second. So I connected these all together, and then I'm just going to pull a square around them. That'll select all, and then you just come down to weld. Something to keep in mind is that weld is not reversible, so don't do it unless you're sure you want to do it. So then you'll just press weld. And now, instead of just one part of it cutting, the whole thing will cut together. So I really love the welding feature for this purpose, for making it so you can cut things together or combine them into one. So I'm going to press the X on that, and I'm going to show you how to do curved text. So let's say we wanted to do Valentine. You're going to ungroup the letters again. Well, first I'm going to make it a little bigger. So you're going to ungroup, and then, so now you want to do a curved text. You just, I mean, you guys probably could have figured this out, but sometimes it's just helpful to see someone else doing it, because you're like, oh, I didn't realize I could do that. So say you wanted this to be all cute and curved, you know, around something. So, Valentine. Good job. So that's not like super curved, but whatever. So you guys get the point. So once those are together, and you can either weld them or you can group them back. So group. The grouping tool is helpful for getting everything on your canvas so you can move them more easily together. It won't keep them together when you go to cut your images and cut your project and whatnot, but you can kind of do that, you know. It makes it so you can resize things easier. You can always just press the ungroup and group button as much as you want. That is reversible, so that's something to keep in mind. So next, I'm going to teach you guys about what attaching is. Basically, that's you select 2 or more layers. So let's say I'm going to come in here and find an envelope.
Or envelopes.
Yeah, or envelopes, yep. So here's a basic envelope that is available through Cricut Access. So say you want to write on this envelope, you'll put if you were to just come in here and write, you know, dear, or like Katie Clark, United States. I'm not going to give you guys my actual address. So if I were to come in here and just put it on there, it would not write on there automatically. So I'm going to come over here and just pretend like I wanted this to be a writing font. So I'm going to say, I want this to be written. But if I were to go press make it right now, which I'm not going to because, well, I guess I can. I can do it without the Cricut machine attached. But hi, Teresa. Yes, I will definitely have this video on Facebook for good, and I will be uploading it to YouTube later. So feel free to pause in the future, come back and reference things, and I'm happy to answer questions in the future as well. So if you came if you came to Design Space and you hadn't attached it, it would just have it on 2 separate layers. So it would write onto one mat and then cut the envelope on the next. So what you do is come back. Okay, my computer's being a little slow. Sorry, guys. So you just would come and attach it. When I figured out that you could attach things by just grabbing and putting a box over it, I felt like my life was changed. Because you don't have to like go and like be like, oh, did I attach everything? Anyways, so you'll just come and press attach, and that will keep them onto the same mat. So now that we're in here, now we'll come back and we've pressed attached and everything will cut and at the same time.
Is there anything in the Cricut machine?
No, there's nothing in the Cricut machine right now. We're not going to actually cut right now. That was a good question though. It's always good to make sure you have your materials ready to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and press cancel. But yeah, so that's attach. Attach is a great feature for being able to, not only can you kind of resize things at the same, the same size or whatever, it keeps it so it cuts at the same time. Some people might be like, well, why don't you just do that instead of grouping? And basically, if you don't want things to cut at the same time, you don't want to attach them. So like I've had different shapes. Like once I did a bunch of hearts and they were all going to be different colors, but I wanted them to be the same size. So grouping them was helpful because I was able to resize them at the same time, but it didn't make it so they cut on the same mat. So next, so we've already talked about weld. I can show you guys some shapes welding. So this is kind of fun. So here's a heart. and welding makes them the same color, so that's something to keep in mind. Is that it'll make it the same color. So if this heart was originally pink and I had a purple heart that I was going to weld to it, well, I'll just weld it to this. So let's say for some reason I wanted to cut an envelope shape with a heart, which really wouldn't make sense, but whatever. So I'll select all and then just press weld. And look, they're all the same. Everything's the same shape. So that got rid of the text and everything. So it makes everything the same. And I can't, yeah. So let's go ahead and do the next thing, flatten. This is something I actually had issues with a few weeks ago because I was doing a print and cut project for little magnets, and I wasn't thinking, and I kept being like, why is it cutting all the individual images or all the individual elements for the magnets? And it was driving me crazy. And then I was like, oh wait, it's because you have to flatten it. Flattening is just for print and cut projects. So let me see if I can get this. Okay, so I'm going to take this one, this cutie sweetie thing. And basically just come over here and press flatten, and it'll make it so into a printable image rather than just a cut image. So if it was just the original, so I'll go back, it would cut out the heart, it would cut out anything with those lines. By flattening it like that, it won't cut it. You see, it kind of got rid of those black lines. So it's only going to cut the outline of this. So you always want to flatten your images if you are doing print and cut. So you just select 2 or more layers and select flatten, and then you're good to go. So contouring, basically, that would be like getting rid of certain parts of an image. So say I really liked this heart image, but I didn't really like the words cutie and sweet. So I'm going to select all. Oh wait, let's see. Why is this not working? Maybe this one won't work. Sorry guys, this is
not working.
Why is this not? Maybe I'll have to do it in a different image. Let me find one that I've used for the example. I had this video on YouTube, and I did pumpkin with it. Let's see. Sorry guys, it's always awkward when it doesn't do what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, that's weird.
It is. So let me know if you guys have any specific questions. No, I'm going to do this. We'll do the spider one later, but we'll do the pumpkin today.
A little bigger.
I'm just trying to figure out why the heck. I haven't used contour for a while, guys. So select image and select contour. Oh, okay. So it's just one layer at a time. Okay, so you come over to the layers panel and you'll click on the individual image or element for that image that you are wanting to contour. So you press contour. I don't know why you have to go through that process because it brings up the whole image. Anyways, so click on just one of the individual images or elements, and you can come in here and say, you know, what you want to get rid of. So hide all contours, or if you want just parts of that to show up. So this is basically select an area that you don't want to be cut and it'll be darkened. So if you don't want those to be cut, then you press those. You guys, I don't know what's going on here. Oh.
Wait, maybe Mommy?
Yes?
I should just press that so it couldn't just, so it would just cut those out so you could see through it.
That's true. So I just did show all contours, or get rid of all contours, I think. Okay, there we go. So I got rid of all. You press them and it'll make it
gone.
It'll make them go away. So just press on the individual image that you want and you press contour. And then if you want it to come back, it'll darken it. That's where I was getting mixed up there. So if you want it to come back, so if you wanted the eyes to be there again and the mouth, then just reselect all those and they'll show back up. So, but if you just didn't want the face, then you would come over to this, press contour, and get rid of those. and it would just be plain. So that's nice, like if you find an image that has kind of the elements that you want, but you don't want all of them, it's helpful to get rid of those. So I'm going to go back to that original image I was working with. Sorry for that delay there. Sometimes I lose what I'm doing. So we'll come back to these hearts. And that might be able to, we'll see. So I'll just come like to this thing and press contour and say, I don't want the cutie. I don't want any of this word in there. So now when I come back, it won't have the words anymore. So that's a helpful tool for contour. So basically, that's a quick overview of Design Space and how you can use it. It's really a great tool, and I know a lot of people get really intimidated and confused by it, but it's really an awesome design program. I've used different cutting machines and different design programs, and I really, really like Design Space. I remember I demoed it at a conference I went to, and I was like, why don't I have one of these machines? And then I got one a few months later, but I love the Design Space software. But if you have any specific questions, feel free to comment on this video or in our Facebook group. I also wanted to let you guys know that I'm releasing some mini courses, and I've had some requests from people to do this, and I just have some mini ones I'm releasing in the future, and I'm looking for people to beta test them. I have a Google Doc in the description for this, so if you'd like to beta test them, I'm only looking for a couple people, and then I'll release it for paid. It's not going to be very expensive. They're just simple courses, but with questions that I'm always being asked, and so I thought I might as well make some little courses. But I am looking for some people to beta test them and give me some feedback. So if you're interested in that, you can go to the Google Doc and put your information in. But if you have any other specific questions about Design Space, feel free to come to our Cricut group, comment on this video, or just let us know. And Sydney and I are both very happy to help. Sydney will be doing another video on, I believe, Friday. And if there's better times or dates for these, let us know, because we want to make sure we're doing these at the most convenient times for you all. Oh, that's so cute. So thanks for tuning in. I know there wasn't a lot of conversation, but I hope that you guys got something for this, and you can always go back and press rewind or, pause, etc. And I will upload this to my YouTube page later today. So thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it, and we appreciate all your support. And we'll see you next time.